Hi everybody. In this video I continue with submit validation. It means that when you type the input information here and then you press submit, it will send a request to a server, and after the server receive it, it will respond to the application, the status, and the application will show the validation process as here. So it is a very basic process when you send us data to server, and in this example I will simulate a server like a timer for about 1000 millisecond task. Okay, so you can see that it is here for 1 second. So let's start with the previous lesson. So in the previous lesson we have some validation here, and the validation occur in local or in your local application. So now you can remove this, and I will define a file for submitting. So we have the JavaScript file name submit.js. Yes, open this file. Yes, it is a new file to define a function inside this. So inside this we have to import the submission error. It is like try catch in some other programming language. The function here means that the resolver is the task. It is called after ms millisecond. So after ms millisecond, it will call to run the resolver, and this is submit function. The submit function here will do some of the tasks. So we can simulate the server by using sleep 1000. It means that it will do simulated or fake server task for about 1 million millisecond or 1 second. So after it receives the response of server, it will check for some of the condition. For example, if the server, if the username not Huang, not Huang Andy, not Andy Huang, okay, etc. It will throw an error using submission error. So the submission error is an object that contains the error content and the field relating to it. So we use the username with the string as user does not exist. So you can validate for another field like this. So you can use validate for email. After you compare the value from server to the value here, you can alert to the condition, something like this. So it is very convenient when you want to work with server. After you sending requests to server and you validate the response in the server with the output here. So import the submit from this, and then inside we can add some of the text through here. So handle submission, it will do fake server for about 1000 millisecond. Remember this. And the submit now function now has been added inside a separated JavaScript file. And this is email. You can add a placeholder to the field here. So it will talk about it will show the text when it is blank. And validating the value here will be true or false. You can get this from Redux form to show when it is when the submitting process is doing or not. So you can add more component to here, and the touchable opacity button will be disabled if the submitting process is when the submitting process is running. And you remove this, it is not necessary. Remove validate and warning. So what about what can I do here now? So the placeholder, to set the placeholder as input props. So you can set, and here after refreshing we see that the username, you can press username. So after pressing submit, you have to wait about 1 second, and it is the time for the fake server start. After that you can show the error as here. So the error here is from the submission error object and the email, and after pressing submit, so we see that the alert went successful. And okay, anything else? So what about the reset? Reset mean it will clear all the value. So you can add a clear button here to control the reset props. And after you call the on press even, it will call the prop reset. So it will reset all the value to the initial value. So the default is blank value, is the initial value. So now run the simulator. You can type the input information ABC is this etc. and age, then press clear, so the value has been disappeared. And this is convenient when you have many fields. You can press clear to reset to the initial value. So see the submitting here to understand more. Okay, so after that you can click to submit. Okay, submit success. Okay, this is the end of my lesson today about submit validation to work when you want to submit data using a server request. Okay, and please subscribe to my channel or download code in GitHub here. Bye bye.